Greetings dear friends, Dragon here once again. It's about that time for a new arrival stack. We're about the third week into August 2022 and there's quite a few bits and pieces here that I have already shown unboxings for, but a whole bunch more that I haven't, so I thought we'd run through them together. I'll leave links down below to any of the titles that are still available as new. There is quite a bit of second-hand stuff here, but it would be a huge help if you follow the links through if you're planning on using Amazon anyway, and help contribute to the running costs of the channel. So settle down, get comfy. This might take a few minutes to get through because there is quite a few bits and pieces here, but without any more rambling, we shall begin. Okay, so first up of the new releases, this was Eureka's Running Out of Time. This one there is already an unboxing for, so I'll leave a link down to that below. You can check through and see all the information about the set there, but it's Johnny To's pretty great Running Out of Time, and then, in my opinion, slightly less great, more parody sequel in Running Out of Time Part 2, but good Andy Lau, kind of prime Hong Kong crime thriller fun. First of the two big releases from 88 Films this month, this is Donnie Yen starring Tiger Cage Part 1, 2 and 3 with glorious artwork by Sean Longmore, and again a full unboxing video for this already up, so I will leave a link down to that as well as a link to Amazon, who I think may still have the set in stock, but this sold out really quickly from 88's own website, so I think at this point Amazon's probably your best bet for still tracking down a copy if you haven't already. And the other big 88 release, in my world anyway, they did release a few non-Asian titles this month too, but this is Flying Guillotine Part 2 with a glorious slipcover by Kung Fu Bob O'Brien, starring Ku Feng and Tae Lung. Doesn't really connect that much to Flying Guillotine Part 1, so don't worry too much if you've not seen the first part. And there is also a kind of unofficial sequel, The Vengeful Beauty, which is part of unofficially considered Part 3, and then a whole bunch of non-Shaw's guillotine-based movies as well. But yeah, this one pretty great. Fantastic performance from a very villainous Ku Feng here playing the Emperor. But great, yeah, good fun. And again, unboxing for this already on the channel below. I'll leave links down underneath here. Next up, sticking with Shaw Brothers and sticking with Ku Feng, this is The Wonderful Master of Kung Fu, one that I picked up second hand, and the lesser known Wong Fei Hung movie. This is Ku Feng playing the titular character of Wong Fei Hung, a lot more kind of looking at the sort of medicinal career of Wong Fei Hung than the fighting career, so the fighting doesn't really happen until kind of largely into about halfway through the movie, but still pretty great if you can track it down cheap, as I did, just a couple of quid. This is the Koch Media, the German release, with a reversible cover, so you'll probably see it like this on most of the websites if you're seeing, but you flip them around and get the original Hong Kong posters on the reverse. Pretty great. If you're doing a search on German Amazon, then search for King Fu Seine Faust Zucken wie Blitz, which just rolls off the tongue. And then last Shaw Brothers pick up for this month, this was a Zoke Media, so very, very cheap because it had a damaged outer slipcase. This is one that I already had a couple of different versions of, but I think the main version I've been using was an iTunes digital file for it, so I wanted to actually track down a new actual proper physical media release. Randomly the seller forgot that they'd also stored some strange unidentifiable bit of anime in there too. I don't know what Medabots, no idea what that is. If anyone knows, let me know. I haven't had a chance to check out that disc, but yeah, it's the Zoke release. These Zoke ones usually always came with a slipcase. Sometimes can be a little bit more expensive, but stick to your guns. They shouldn't be really worth quite as much as the IVL releases. It's a DVD 9. I'm not too sure exactly which region this came out of, so it's, I think it's region 6 for these. I think they may well have come out of Taiwan, but they are the Celestial remasters, so the quality of the disc itself is really good, and that's a lesser known fantastic Philip Kwok performance. So quite a few of the Venom Mob in here, but yeah, often considered a Venom Mob movie, though the full squad isn't present in this one, but it's a great movie. Jumping back to 88 Films, and this was filling in the gaps of my Kung Fu Bob slipcovers collection. This is Heart of Dragon with Sammo Hung and Jackie Chan. Not my favourite one of their collaborations together, but still pretty good. There's some great action sequences in it, and this one I picked up really because there's a very great kind of full feature length kind of behind the scenes, I think like 48 minutes of making of special. I was intrigued to see, so I'm getting as much for the specials as I am for the film itself, which is can be a little bit of a tough set at times. But still a pretty great performance by Sammo in here as a mentally handicapped brother of Jackie. Another one there is an unboxing for already, and this is the Taiwanese zombie gore fest that is The Sadness from Raven Banner. Pretty insane movie, but is currently on sale at Raven Banner. Again, I'll leave links down to that below so you can pick it up half price. And the Canadian version is the sort of director's special edition, so not a different cut of the movie, but a whole bunch of director approved specials on here, so you get a director's commentary some behind the scenes, and a few other wee bits and pieces as well, kind of Fantasia Award presentation, trailers, all that sort of good stuff. Another second-hand purchase, and this is just filling out the gaps in some of my Denis Villeneuve kind of collections. This is another one of his earlier films that I really like. This is Sicario, with Emily Blunt, Josh Brolin and Benicio del Toro. Steelbook had seen better days. It's got a big massive hefty dent on the front of it, so it was really, really cheap as a result. I think this was about £3, including shipping, unbelievably. So yeah, a bit of a bargain, because there's a whole bunch of different versions of this, and I didn't want to push out the boat for a super fancy one. I was fine with a slightly trashed Steelbook, but like the artwork on it. Another very recent one, and again, unboxing for this is already up. This is Second Sight's release of Dog Soldiers. Pretty insane, with a nice digi. And again, you can see the full unboxing for this. I'll leave a link down to that below. That was the big Second Sight release that I was interested in for this month. As we all know, Arrow had just put up pre-orders for the Shawscope Volume 2 box set, and I was a few points away from having an extra tenner discount, so I had to grab something else quickly in their sale, and I picked up Irezumi, which is a pretty great Masamura movie, with a girl who gets an enormous spider tattoo on her back, and then it kind of changes her, corrupts her. Great. Very, very good. I've yet to open this. I'll probably do a full review for that in due course eventually. That's an incredibly long list of things that I need to do a review for. This I did show when I was putting them together, but I picked up the Mondo Steelbook. Again, dented, so it was super cheap. I'm not too worried if a Steelbook's not completely flawless, if I can get it really, really cheap, as was the case with this, and I much preferred the artwork that was on it. So combined it with my my Cine Edition outer slipcase, and then sold the Blu-ray from inside here, the Blu-ray and the 4K from inside here, and replaced it with this, so I was able to basically pay for the Steelbook by selling the contents of this, and then merging the two back together. That is Zack Snyder's 300, the Frank Miller adaptation. I think the first of 2 Mondo Steelbooks that I managed to pick up this month. Other ones in better condition. So that lives in there. This was the second, and it's their now out of print version of Terminator 2. Easily the artwork that I prefer from the various different versions of this that are around. I think this was from a good few years ago, this version. There's 2 different colourways. I think there's a red and then this kind of greeny version too. But it arrived still sealed, and with its kind of wee outer slip, and in much better condition. But yeah, one that I've been after for a little while. Always good to have a nice version of Terminator 2, and it's one that I didn't actually have on Blu-ray. I just had an old DVD version of that kicking around. One that I'm not too sure if I'm going to keep. This was a weird sort of trade-up deal via CEX, but for a brand new version of The Matrix, the Titans of Cult edition. Not a huge fan of this range, as anyone who watches my videos quite a bit will know. These outer boxes are far too fragile. They chip and crack so easily just when you're taking the Steelbook out normally, and it always has a variety of largely useless extras inside. In this case, I think it's a fridge magnet and a badge. And the disc versions are usually exactly the same as previous versions, and I've already got a nice Japanese Steelbook of the first Matrix, so this one is probably going to end up getting sold on, but it certainly arrived this month anyway. So that is the Titans of Cult version of the Matrix. We can try and carefully open the top and let you see the Steelbook from inside. Everything about this just seems to be designed to get damaged every time you open it. So yeah, again, I got this artwork. I actually still preferred the artwork that was on a couple of the previous earlier editions, but you do get your disc of special features, your Blu-ray and your 4K on here. But yeah, I think one that's probably not going to be in the collection for too long. Another big release from this month, this was Event Horizon. This is the Steelbook version with the extra bits and pieces. Again, there is an unboxing for this on the channel. Again, I will leave a link down to that below if you want to kind of see all the details from inside. This, I think some people thought was a Zavvi exclusive, myself included for a little while. It's not, so I can leave an Amazon link down below. You'll save yourself on the shipping cost if you go through Amazon. But pretty nice set, apart from the outer slip with its bonded on 4K banner, which is a bit of a shame to see. Would have been a bit nicer to have a kind of clear cover without the BBFC certificates, all that sort of business. Which happily was the case with this, the other kind of big sci-fi release. This is Tom Cruise Edge of Tomorrow. Again, this is the Steelbook release with the extra bits and pieces. And a really nice edition. And again, there is an unboxing for that already up on the channel too, so check that out if you want to see more of what is inside that box. Another weird Frankensteining version. This was the Film Arena version of The Martian. which I've ended up swapping the discs out for the extended version discs. I did a comparison between this and the extended version Steelbook, which you can see on the channel. Again, links down to that below. I won't go too much into detail with that, but yeah, really, really nice edition that I've been on the search for ages. One of the nicest kind of printing jobs that I've seen Film Arena do. It's kind of this really nice sort of velvety finish to it, with embossing and debossing and spot glossing, all that good tricky stuff to do. Again, embossing on the spine as well, glorious. Another second-hand pickup, and this is The Miracle Fighters by Yuen Woo-ping. Pretty bonkers movie, and if you've seen and enjoyed, this is just a single disc Hong Kong release via Panorama. If you've seen or enjoyed Forbidden City Cop, kind of two of the characters from this movie end up kind of cropping up in Forbidden City Cop, though they're not linked. Stephen Chow just liked the characters, so the kind of the old lady that you see in this, and this sort of strange kind of fighter that is able to kind of split himself into two that kind of crop up in here, make a first appearance. That's these two basically. They're first seen in The Miracle Fighters. Pretty bonkers, kind of like mix of kung fu and fantasy, but great movie. And again, one that I picked up second hand. This doesn't come direct from Hong Kong this time round, but these Panorama releases always pretty nice. Come with these weird slipcases that you slide in from the bottom, but English friendly, so you can always get English subs on them, and the subs have varying degrees of quality. But yeah, pretty crazy movie. One from the Terracotta Sale, and one that I've been after for a little while. I think I mentioned this in one of my upcoming videos, God, probably almost a year ago now, but this is Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes, a little kind of time loop paradox movie about a guy who runs an internet cafe and finds out that one of the computers in his cafe is showing 2 minutes in the future, and it sort of turns into this strange kind of comedy, slight sci-fi kind of romp, but all largely kind of filmed in one continuous shot, one that I've been itching to see for ages. So huge thanks to Joy from Terracotta for sorting this out for me and sending it up so quick. Again, I'll do a full review for that in due course. A random HD Zeta pickup. This is just the extras bundle from their One Click of Batman Begins that I've yet to crack open so far. Picked this up A, because it was pretty cheap, and B, because I already have the extras bundle from The Dark Knight Rises. It's kind of nice to build up a little bit of a set. I'll probably end up picking up the one for The Dark Knight if I can find it cheap enough, but you usually get nice books. I'm not going to open the Batman Begins one for just now, but you kind of get nice kind of photo books that sometimes contain little comics, and then usually kind of cards as well. So I'm not too sure exactly what's in that side. That one, at some point I might well crack into it. I've got quite a few bits and pieces from Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, my kind of favourite Batman movies so far. So yeah, that was the HD Zeta Specials bundle for Batman Begins. And lastly was this, which is a second-hand pickup, though it did arrive still sealed, which is the double pack of Wicked City and Demon City Shinjuku, two kind of great, very early era anime classics. This is it's not an all the anime version. I think this is just a manga UK release, but does have dual language on it. Same director who worked on Ninja Scroll and produced by Madhouse, who made Death Note and One Punch Man. So animation pretty great, pretty crazy all round. Maybe slightly prefer Ninja Scroll over this, but this really nice rigid outer box with your kind of two discs inside, bunch of different art cards, nice little book kind of featuring a whole bunch of character sketches, which is really, really nice. And then the two individuals, Wicked City and Demon City. And that is it. That is everything that I've picked up so far for August. Let me know in the comments below what you guys have been getting a hold of, and we can have a wee chat about it. And I think this is probably going to be the last one that I do for this month. I don't think there's too much more that I'm expecting for the rest of August, so it'll probably make its way into a September video along with any new arrivals that are coming up then. But thank you very much for sitting through this. I know it was a very, very long one. I will see you on the next one. Thank you again for watching. Take care.